Hey, didn't see you there. Welcome back. I'm your host, Murray. Today, you're at Get Wrenching. Well, today we're probably not going to wrench, but we're going to take a look into this. I've been promising for a while. So before we do anything to this, it makes sense just to give you a little short video on what I've done to this vehicle and what we're about to do. So sit back, relax, grab a sandwich and a beverage, and we'll get into this. So, guys and gals of YouTube land, welcome back to Get Wrenching. What we have here is a 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee with the 4.7 liter gas guzzling V8. It's got all the screaming eagles in it. I've lifted it, a little bit. So we're just going to take a little walk around here. And you'll check this thing out and see what you think of it yourself. We got some, things that I like to do to it. But there's also this other thing that I might have to do because things aren't good right now. So you might have to take a little trip away. And I don't really want to do it. But I got her all cleaned up. And I said, what a better time to show you guys and gals at home what this thing looks like and what I've done to it. Some of you that live local see me driving around in this thing and wonder why I got it. So let's go take a walk around. I bought this Jeep back in early 2019, before the pandemic struck. I sold this fine specimen right there to one of my buddies, so my off-road vehicle was gone. So I got it in my head that I needed another one. So I went aboard and bought me this here 2001 Jeep Cherokee. Go take a look inside here. As you can see, it's got the Infinity sound system in her, power windows, power seats. Owner before had the rocker panels repaired and had removed these caps, but these holes were wide open. So I took some seam sealer after I filled them full of undercoating and filled them full, and then I drilled them so that way I can put undercoating plugs in them. Just cleaned it up so it looks really shiny. Sorry if it's too glossy for the camera, but yeah, she's a 4-speed automatic. She's got the Select Track transfer case, so we can go the 2 high and the 4 park time and the 4 full time and neutral and 4 low, which she's in 4 low right now. Probably should keep her back there. E-brake works. Cup holders here. Plenty of storage and stuff in there for your CDs and stuff, Got this here. Flip out screen. It's got the camera in the back and stuff, which is nice and handy for when we're off-roading. I'll get you on the other side. Okay, here's driver's side. Got one little rip here in the door panel. No big deal. All this works. Power mirrors as well. Heated power mirrors. This thing, when I bought it, had roughly, 147,000. Now we have 157,000. Oh, according to the window, we're going to be doing a service to this thing, I'd say. Do it 57,900. So another, a little less than 800 kilometers. Air conditioning does work in this. I put a brand new AC condenser in it when I first bought it. Anybody knows me, any vehicle with AC in it is got to work. Yes, the seats aren't, not wore really bad. Pedals aren't wore bad. That's how I knew. I bought this from an older gentleman, so she's in pretty good shape. Back seats I don't think was ever sat into until my young fella, he sat there. Yeah. Checking the back here. As you can see, she's quite spacious. So, sorry about that. I had to stop because if anyone owns one of these with them shocks, you know exactly what you're going through. Here, repair those in the trunk. Just right quick. This is what I cleaned the interior with. One of my buddy Brandon there showed me this stuff. I'm usually a mother's guy, but this stuff actually works pretty good. You can see the shine on everything, and it smells like an actual new, like the new rubber you get in a new car. Anyway, enough of that. Enough of advertising. So that's the back tailgate. It had a dent when I first bought it here. And I think that was about it. This glass has got a button right here. And the glass pops open. And of course, like typical, these aren't holding. So if I let go of that, I'm going to have a smash window. So I choose not to use that. Choose not. So let's dig into the more important stuff and see what's underneath the hood. So what we got here is a 4.7 liter V8. It's about 220 horsepower or something like that. This did have the hydraulic fan that ran off the power steering pump, but one of my buddies I worked with, Chris, he hooked me up with a power steering pump for a non-hydraulic cooling fan. Other than that, underneath the hood here, and I replaced this power steering line because there was a different style. Something else you'd have to do. So, I did put on this 8,500 pound winch. I built this all myself. Grade 8 hardware up in there. Just a piece of angle and welded another piece of the same angle to it and plopped 4 holes in it up in where 3 bolts, and just put it up in there where the factory tow hooks would go. And these are the factory tow hooks. Anyone knows what on the Jeep Grand Cherokee looks like? I just took them and drilled them up through, and they work perfect. And I got these lights off Amazon. They work so-so. That one there, after the first 6 months, got water in it, but whatever. Good spot to put my El Cheapo CB radio antenna. That works very well. Yeah, the engine runs good, but I tell you, you ain't passing a gas station with that. So, enough of me jib-jabbering. Let's get underneath and see what we did underneath. So we'll start underneath here, underneath the front. You can see here, there's that new AC condenser I was telling you about. Put that shimmy shock on. It did have a factory one, but that was wore out, so I put that on. And we have a rough country one up here that's bolted up. Rough country 4-inch suspension lift is what I put in. I did get the adjustable track bar. And I put all new sway bar links. There's the drop brackets with your lift for your bump stops. A little power steering leak there, I guess, off of that other hose, I guess. This is a Dana 30. She does have a 373 gear ratio in her. I got rid of these upper bushings and put in the iron rock Like they're like a 2-piece and it's greasable, and you take them apart like little Allen cap screws and grease them up. I haven't done that yet, which I probably should. I did it on both sides. Just a little upgrade. When I put this track bar in, that's another thing. I had to do some modifications here just for it to fit. And that's a rough country adjustable on one end. Yeah. Also, I did put new wheel bearings on this. Brakes, calipers. Well, not rotors though. I didn't do new rotors. I did new upper ball joints, upper and lower. That's been replaced, the drag link itself. When I first bought it. I put on these Deep Digger 35-inch tall tires from China. I only paid $1,000 for those. A lot better than $1,400 I was quoted for the other ones, which is probably a lot more now because, well, you know, inflation's gone through the roof. As you can see, I put the core 4x4 upper and lower arms, and they're fully adjustable. And I kept the rough country drop bracket for the other lift arms that the bushings fell apart after 2 months. Let's just say I was not impressed, and I will show you afterwards what that looks like, because me and rough country, we're done. Let's put it that way. So here's the back side. Sorry about the exhaust stuff in the way. It's kind of hard to get you right in there, but you can see the upper core adjustable, and this other one. These have been pretty good so far. I don't see any bushings hanging out of it yet. Don't hear any clunking, anything like that. But so far, so good. This was the bushing on the rough country one that went to crap. And rough country wouldn't go good for it. And you know what the sad part was? I never even took it off road yet at that time. But as you can see, transmission pan, he did replace it here in the Maritimes. This is the first thing to rust out on them, other than the rocker panels, which are in really, I mean really good shape. This Jeep was well taken care of and well undercoated. Like that is, if I touch that now, I am going to be full. I replaced that upper boomerang arm, which I would, because those bushings right there were beat out, and I went to go replace them on the other one, and the other one was so rusty, I just said the heck with it. I put the new upper ball joint. This is the rough country spacer for that little ball joint that goes on the back. That's sort of like a little pivot, sort of like a 3-link, the way this rear suspension set up. And if I could have it my way again, I would definitely go with a Iron Rock long travel and make this a 4-link and have the cross member back here and everything bolts off to it. Of course, on like any vehicle, you gotta hear us coming down the road. I put on one of these thrust chamber mufflers, which works pretty good. I like the sound of it. She's pretty growly. I haven't done anything to the rear brakes. Emergency brake works beautiful. All I had to do was clean up the shoes and put them together and service the rear pads and stuff. Pretty good. There's the rough country 4-inch springs, and I did end up putting a 2-inch little helper. So on the very back end, I end up getting rid of the rough country shocks, which 3 months into it, decided that they weren't going to shockulate no more. So I ended up spending way more, almost as much as what I spent on the lift kit for these, because due to COVID at the time, I couldn't get no shocks, and I needed shocks. These are good to up to a 6.5-inch lift for the long travel, which I had planned on putting in this Jeep. There's another one of those drop brackets for the rough country suspension lift for the sway bar link, which I just put the rear sway bar back in, and because I like running it without it. This is a Dana 44A, which means this piece here is aluminum. That's steel. And a lot of fellows that hardcore wheel these will trust them from here over to there and then incorporate the bowl holes for that little upper ball joint on the top of the diff, so that way this diff can't roll, actually spin on these. Yeah, it can happen. But this is look really good. I did service that. I do got a little problem here with this one here, starting to show some rust around it, but that's typical, and you can buy those actually and weld them on, which, yeah, it's a pain in the butt. Oh well, it's not in too bad a shape. They're just starting to get my finger in the right spot here. They're just starting to show some age, but oh well. Other than that, she looks like the floors and stuff and the frame was actually in pretty good shape on this. Like, even, I don't know if we can see up there, there's a cross member right there. These usually are gone. Well, I did have to put a spot in it, but I cut out the rust and welded in a new one, new piece. So that way it was just like new. I don't know if I can get you up there. See, it's actually in pretty good shape going across. You can see the one spot where I did put in a seam seal around it and stuff, so that way, you know. Also, the same Chris I'm talking about that helped me out, he used to work with me at the shipyard. He's on somewhere else now. Hooked me up with this skid plate because mine was rotted, and this is what holds the gas tank in place. I did have to put a piece here. I cut this all out, cleaned it all up, which I'm going to have to take it off again if I keep it and clean it up again. It's not, this is just surface rust now, and trust me, I don't look like that on the inside because I painted this with some heavy duty industrial paint, which finally did get rubbed off on a rock. But other than that, it wasn't too bad. Yeah. Another spot up there, usually you're prone for rust, which this one is definitely not. Like I say, the paint might be screwed up on the outside, but she's not too bad a shape. Now, on the rear here, you can see how close we are here. This is not a adjustable rear arms, which I wish I had. You can move this back. I did have to trim all this and then massage all this and make it like a flare. So that way when, because on these, when the tire goes up, it goes inside of there. And as you can see, these front tires used to be on the back. I just rotated them not that long ago. They started to cut the outside tread, so that's why I had to do that modification. Here on the front, I had to do some cutting here, do some bending, like so, and then I trimmed the bumper. Then I cut the fog lights off just for a little better approach angle because I like to put my tires on the rocks, and I didn't need ripping another Jeep bumper off in the woods, which I think a lot of Jeep bumpers are in our woods around here like this. Yeah. Yeah, she's not a bad old rig. The headlights, I gotta clean these up. Someone had a custom, you know, little eyebrows on it. The hood, it's got a little spot here. They all do it. I don't know why. So, and the clear coat's coming off. These fenders are actually new. The guy that had this Jeep put them on. I just had to paint them. I got down there, they were still in that black kind of shipping stuff, and it had surface rust on it. Looks like I got a couple little small spots caused from these because the rocks like to come off those tires and hit the windshield and the fenders. The roof is just full of rock chips. I couldn't believe how many rock chips was on that window. But I tell you, those tires, they throw the rocks. I can see why you need fender flares, yeah, you can see they stick out just a little bit. Yeah, so just that little bit, we'll put the marks all on here. You can hear them when you go down the road. Ting, click, ping, ping. It never fails. So I'm going to show you some of the rough country stuff that is junk. Here it is, guys and gals, YouTube land. This is the front lower control arm from rough country. You can see how that bushing worked its way out like that. I kept hearing this clunking sound. What is that noise? And you can see, yeah, how it's shiny there. Yeah, that was junk. So, what do I think about the rough country left I bought? I shouldn't have bought it. Should have bought an Iron Rock one. Yeah, an Iron Rock, long travel. I should have saved my money. I paid $1,000 for the rough country left that was in it. Let's just say those shocks was 700 Canadian dollars for all four, shipped to the door from Iron Rock. It's the only place I could get them at the time. I tried to source them through local parts stores stuff. No way. The Ranchos was way more. The shocks that came in the rough country kit, I'm telling you guys and gals, I took this off-road once. Got going down the road, kept hearing this clunking. I thought, oh, something loosened up. Nope. Nope. Those shocks. Done. Destroyed. Great. So I haven't had any trouble with them Bilstein ones. The 4-inch, not enough in this Jeep to lift it up. Not enough. You can't get these high enough with a 4-inch. I had 33s on this. The brother-in-law let me borrow, which was great. This front still needs to come up for another 3/4 of an inch because she's got this rake to it now. Like, it even had that without those spacers. And I know you're going to say those spacers, they make your suspension like this, and it takes this thing still rides like a Cadillac. So I definitely don't have that trouble. I still have all the original documentation for this vehicle, all the books, and even the original there. Scary part is, I mean, young fellow did with today's inflation. This vehicle's worth $69,000 if it was new in today's money. Back then in 2001, $44,720. Base model, $39,790. This shows you every option on this vehicle that this feller got, or lady, I don't know. It definitely doesn't get this anymore. That's gone right out the window. This here, no, I don't see that at all on the highway. That number there, yeah, I see that on the highway, and around town I see about 25 liters. No lie, this thing is hard on gas. It was harder on gas before I lifted it. My wife says I shouldn't have lifted it. I'm saying now I shouldn't have lifted it. This was the nicest vehicle that we had at the time, but I need an off-roader. So we also have a rooftop tent that normally goes up here, be used for overlanding, but I took it off. It's getting closer to winter time, so that won't be happening much anymore. A bunch of the stickers on there. This is all stuff that I had bought. This is for the control arms, the Iron Rock bushings. Also, I got these shocks came from Iron Rock, which is this company. I like working with them. They're really good. I was a volunteer firefighter once. He up, but I still keep that on there just for sport. This was on there, the sticker for the muffler. This came with my upper control arms. This came with the snatch block. This branding sticker was on there when I bought it. I did not put that there. One more thing before we go. Let's start this bad boy up. Pretty healthy growl to it, you gotta admit. There, short and sweet, but you get the point. This old thing is not a bad old vehicle, but it's not really practical either. So, if you like what you saw today, think about hit that subscribe button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Maybe even share me on Facebook or any other social media platform. That'd be great too. Also, leaving a like. That helps a guy out big time too. Also, guys and gals, wherever it is you may turn wrenches, don't matter if it's your driveway, tent, garage, just remember, get off the couch, stay safe, and get wrenching. See you next time.